There's a script that plays on repeat after every protest in this country. It doesn't matter who is protesting. It doesn't matter what they're saying. And it certainly doesn't matter how peacefully they do it. The response, like clockwork, is the same. Foreign agents, treason, an attempt to overthrow the government. In 2024, the Ford Foundation was publicly blamed until the accusation was quietly withdrawn. The president, if you recall, called protesters treasonous criminals. This year, the deputy president and other members of the executive claimed that there is an active attempt to topple the government. Now let's just pause and take that in. Because treason is not a slogan. It is a serious criminal offense. It is one of the gravest charges in any country. Attempting to overthrow the government is not an opinion. It's a very serious charge. And a coup? Well, that's not a PR problem. That is a national security emergency. So here's the question. If that's really what's happening, why hasn't anyone been arrested? This government has access to intelligence briefs, surveillance capabilities, the DCI, the NIS, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. If there's truly a coup being plotted with foreign money and local collaborators, then you have the tools, you have the power, and you have the duty to act. I mean, as the world's most famous sports brand says, and no, this is not an endorsement, just do it. Arrest the conspirators, charge them, take them to court, protect the state. Because if someone is truly attempting to overthrow a democratically elected government, you don't call a press conference, you don't post a hashtag, you don't insinuate or imply, you act. But if you don't, then you're doing something else. You're playing politics, you're spinning narratives, and you're using national security as an excuse, a narrative and a pretext to something more ominous, to clamp down on any voices of discontent. And that is dangerous. When a protest is painted as a plot against the government, and every chant is called foreign-funded treason, then the burden of proof immediately falls on those alleging to table the evidence. When such a serious claim comes from the president or the cabinet secretary in charge of national security, they become duty-bound to prove the allegations and act for the sake of the credibility of the offices they hold, if not for their own personal credibility. It's also a good way of office holders to show that they respect the intelligence of not just those they work with, but also those to whom their messages are directed. An ordinary mwananchi is not exactly a moron. He or she is a citizen of a country that enjoys one of the highest literacy rates in the world. Some of them are old enough to have witnessed every trick in the Kenyan political bags. Some of them took part in countrywide, state-organized demonstrations against General Odongo and his terror outfit, oddly named the February 18 Revolutionary Army, FERA. It was a thrilling episode of euphoric national fiction, organized by the state, invoking the oldest excuse in the book, national security. Now, before we burn any effigies, let us have the real suspects this time. Give us the coup plotters. Arrest them dramatically and produce them in the nearest terror or treason court. But if this is all spin and part of a protracted post-election fallout, then let's give Kenyans a break by respecting their intelligence and the intelligence of their security and intelligence services. That's my take.
Two Kenyans have exercised their freedom of expression and freedom of conscience, as well as right to belief and opinion. Let's listen to them.
Nalishukuru Rais William Samoei Ruto. Wakati jana umesema shoot but do not kill. I want to repeat it here. In fact, shoot and kill. You not have someone coming after your life and you do not want to shoot and kill.
Wewe ni ndugu, wewe ni dada ya mtu. Unatumwa kwenda ku abduct mtu ambaye hana silaha, si mgaidi na si mwizi wa mali ya umma. Jiulize hii swali. For how long am I going to be used by this government to continue making the children of other people suffer?
Now, the first speaker, Nelson Koech, is a member of parliament, chairperson of the National Assembly Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations Committee, and a man of significant connections to the political power center. The second speaker is new to many Kenyans, including myself. He is called Godfrey Masiaga Kakan Mayo, a young man who posted his opinion on TikTok, an opinion that earned him a visit by officers of the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI. From his post, Mayo is extremely upset with the spate of abductions in Kenya, and his sense of justice is unmistakably strong.
A time is coming. You guys will go to abduct someone, and most of you will not go back to the stations alive. Mark my words.
Now, for this admittedly fiery, justice and fairness spirited post, Mayo was arrested by the DCI ostensibly for inciting violence against the police. Never mind that some of the consequences Mayo is evoking are divine and unspecified. He is inviting, or is it inciting God, the Almighty, to deliver justice for families of victims of abduction.
The wrath of God will descend upon you, and most of you will not return to the stations alive. Mark my words.
Now, in dashing to arrest this young man, the authorities are yet again missing another opportunity to do nothing but listen. A young man has expressed something he felt so strongly about. What if this is exactly how 1 million other young Kenyans feel tonight?
My memo tonight is an alarm bell. I ring it loud, first on behalf of Kenyan parents, and indeed every right-thinking Kenyan who is tonight equally perturbed by what I'm about to talk about. You see, leaders, especially political leaders, have taken to lecturing parents about their upbringing of children. They have been insinuating that Gen Z protesters are ill-mannered and poorly raised. I compiled some excerpts from the lecture series from our leaders.
Parents must be at the center, making sure that not only are our children in class, but we also mentor them so that we can build good character.
Vijana wetu, wasichana kwa vijana, wengi wanaandika mambo machafu sana, wengi wanatuma vitu mbaya sana. Kila mtu kaishe mtoto wako na umuongeleshe.
They speak of discipline, values, morality. Talk of preaching water and drinking wine. Have you been watching our political leaders on the campaign trail lately? Have you seen how crude and crass it is getting out there on the podium? Leadership used to be about matters above the neck. But lately, the altitude has dropped dramatically, even below basic decency.
Mzuri, mwanaume aliye na afya na akili timamu aendangi raundi moja. Anaendanga raundi moja.
Na nyinyi wa mama unajua yule mwanamume mmoja si yule anaenda one round. Si anaenda raundi ya pili na ya tatu. Sasa mnataka kushukisha William Ruto one round.
Kuna hii mbegu yangu ikimix mnaonaje? Ndio sababu nasema mimi leo sirudi na hii weather.
Siku hizi wanaume wamesahau, wanatupiga na mapanga, wanatupiga na marungu, na Mungu aliwapatia kitu ambaye wanatakana kutupiga nayo.
Nataka kuuliza hapa na mnishike vizuri. Mtu anasikianga utamu. saa zile yuko ndani ama nje.
Huyu mama akiwa kwa kitandani si unalala kabisa Utaamuka kesho ingine sio? Atoshi.
You have seen and heard it for yourselves. Now sit back and wait for your next lecture on how to bring up your children and how to raise them into responsible, patriotic citizens.
Ulisikia nyenga ati hai cousin. Ukifika Ukambani nyai cousin. Ukija Mwatate unasema nyinyi mashemeji zangu.
And that is my memo.
Umesikia vibaya, jo tumelia. Na nasema one time siku zote. One time jo jeshi ni ground.
I find that the more crooked you are in the Kenyan political arena, the quicker you succeed. I don't know why. They don't, and I say the electorate seem to want these tainted people. I don't know what's wrong with them. If they have a chance to choose somebody who's straight, who's on the surface of it looks reasonably straight, they're not interested. They want these ones that lie to them, these ones that cheat them, these ones that run. Provided he has bags of money to spread around, they're quite happy.
No, do any one time.
You kweli one time.
Bila nimeongea hivi, tunajua kesho huyo nyako na hapo atauliwa, lakini round hii tumetanuka akili, wajua ametufungua macho. Iko hivi. Nikiuliwa, ajua wewe kila mtu amekumaka. Unatusumbua sana. Hapa hivyo. Hivyo.
Nataka kuambia serikali, unaona hii gari iko hapa mbele imebeba tank. Hiyo ni gas iko hapo ndani. Tightly sealed. Na umeandikiwa hapo danger, no smoking. Sasa sira yetu sisi kama wa Kenya ni hii gas imefungiwa kwa hii tanki. Unaona? Tafadhali 2027 accept your fate, go home. Kwa sababu kura nayo hakuna mtapata. Lakini mkijaribu kusmoke kura zetu tutalipuka. Waswahili wanasema wengi wape, usipowapa watajichukulia. Ile hasira tuko nayo kama wa Kenya ni hii tanki. Usione ati imetulia hapo imebebwa, ikilipuka hiyo it will cause a lot of damage. And that is the damage we will cause as Kenyans if you try to smoke our votes in 2027. Nendeni nyumbani tu. Masies wote, most of the governors, president na deputy wako wa soprano, babafua, kila just nendeni tu home. Jua sira yetu ni hii. Yani italipuka kushinda ile blast imelipua ile nyumba Mombasa jana. So don't.
I am not a statesman. I am a conman. I always threaten to be president. But my intention is not to win. I am after handshakes and deals with government. I am a traitor.
Hey CJ, what do you have to tell young people?
Young people, please make sure that you have registered. And when the registration of voters comes, let everyone register. Let everyone register. That is the most important thing I can tell you as of now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nyamisa, what do you think?
I agree with you. Make sure you have your ID and make sure you're registered as a voter.
Exactly.
Register as a voter, as CJ has said.
Thank you.
Ruto must go. What is Ruto going to tell us? How is Ruto giving anybody hope? Ruto already is, even his own people don't want him. You the Kenyan people, you're not the type, and you would call your leader out. It's your Ruto, it's Kasongo that we are after.
Yeah,
not the Kenyans. We love the Kenyans. We know the Kenyans have morals. Yes, our Kasongo. Yes. Your Kasongo is the one that we have an issue with. I love you guys, you Kenyans. You guys have morals.
Kenya kunaendelea kuharibika. Najua Samoei kuna vile cheki anataka kuchange rules. Jiulize hii swali. Tafakari ya babu. Na ya babu ni haya. If you're a president and you know that there's an election in 2 years time, would you If you're not sure of coming back, would you repair your office for 2 billion shillings? Would you repair State House for 2 billion shillings? That's a total of 4 billion shillings. If you're not 100% sure that you're coming back. Yes, the reason I keep doing this, this person is planning to use all methods to come back. So it's up to us to make sure that tumetokea sisi wote. Tokea. Make sure anyone who will be 18 by that time ametokea. Make sure the gap is so big that hata Sudi jo atampigia jo amwambia Yamune ekonene.
And don't buy into the political rhetoric of trying to divide you into tribes.
Yes.
Our problems are not tribal. There's no Kikuyu problem, there's no Kalenjin problem, there's no Luo problem, there's no Somali problem. There's no Kamba problem.
Yes.
Shift share knows no tribe. The university funding model knows no tribe.
Yeah.
Joblessness knows no tribe. All these problems that we point out, they do not know any tribe.
Walai kwa national anthem yetu mzima, line tu moja tu ndio ina make sense sahi. Mungu nguvu yetu. Hiyo peke yake. Hizi zingine zote hadi tuishi na undugu, amani na uhuru. Hakuna.
Uhuru siku hizi na sisi.
Uhuru hata hizi na sisi hata tulipotokanga, amani hakuna, undugu hakuna, siku hizi mandugu ni mandugu. Yaani hakuna ati
na upendo.
Ati raha tupate na ustawi. Raha gani watu mtaani wanapata raha na matawi? Ustawi hakuna. Ati tushikane mikono pamoja kazini. Watu wana kazi. Ati sijui may we dwell in unity. Sasa tuna dwell in poverty. Sasa hakuna sasa ni kungori. Hakuna kitu yenye ati plenty be found within our borders.
Hakuna plenty.
Watu wanavuka border wakihepa.
Wakienda kutafuta hizo plenty huko.
Wakienda kutafuta plenty huko. Hakuna hata kitu hata mmoja kwa hiyo national anthem yenyewe. Sasa hii tunaishi nayo. Hakuna.
Wakisema one time tunawaambia nini? Tunawaambia nini? Tunawaambia nini?
One term is real, one term is unstoppable, and no violence. We need peace, but one term is real. Hii hata Mungu ameweka sahihi. Hii kampuni ya profesa na dokta sio ni ikiwaka. Hata mtoe pesa ngapi, mshuke juu, mshuke chini, muende kando, muende katikati. Hii one term is real. Asi machezo.
Saizi nguvu imebaki ni ya maandamano peke yake, si ndio? Akitaka kwenda unamuitishia Uber chap. Hakuna kubembeleza punda kwa mteremuko. Mwambie
enyewe Ruto must go. Enyewe Ruto must go. By the way, Ruto must go. Enyewe Ruto must go. Wash fire, Ruto must go. Enyewe Ruto must go. By the way, Ruto must go.